I built this mobile app using Lovable and I deployed it to the iOS App Store without writing any code. In this video, I'm going to teach you how to take an app that you've already built inside of Lovable and submit it to the iOS App Store. As a bonus, I'm also going to show you how to submit it for review. We're going to take an app that I just built for a local charity here in Atlanta and we're going to submit it to the App Store. I'm going to show you how to take the app, convert it to a native mobile app using a no-code tool, so you don't need to know any coding. There's no capacitor.js, no need to export the code to Cursor, Windsurf, or even VS Code. You will not touch a single line of code, and by the end of this video, your app will be submitted to the App Store for public review. Here's the app that I've already built inside of Lovable. I'm going to take this app and I'm going to submit it to the App Store. Here's what you got to do. The first step is to publish the app and get it running on a domain. The tool that we're going to use is called Natively, buildnatively.com. I will leave a link in the description. Essentially, Natively will convert any website into a native mobile app. You just pop in a website URL, click Create App, and it will handle compiling and deploying it for you. It will not be compiled to a true native app where the UI elements are mapped to a native UI component. However, it will still perform very, very good. This is what the app looks like here on my phone, and it runs very nicely. It's all JavaScript based, so it's fast. It's pretty much a website compiled onto an app. It's still very fast, and if I were you, I wouldn't overthink it. Just launch something. Get something out there. It totally works. We expect this app to be used by 7,000 people in the next couple months, and I'm going to be reporting back how it does here. So this is a Lovable-based app, and we used Natively to do it. All right, so once you have your publicly available URL, you're going to head over to Natively and click on Start for Free and create an account. If you do want to use all the features that I'm going to use in this tutorial today, you will need to get the $32 a month plan. You can sign up for it. It's $49 if you are doing it by the month. So you can sign up for it for a month and then cancel it, but it is worth it. It will save you a few hours, and if you value your time any more than $49 an hour, it's going to save you a lot of time, and you don't need any technical skills. All right. So once you have your account set up, you can head over to Natively. All right. Natively is going to ask you to set up an app. All right. I'm going to show you just the critical pieces that you need to know. When you click on New App, you are going to type in the name of your app. I'm going to call this Test Tutorial App. I've already done this once, so I'm not going to use this. Okay. Now I'm going to paste the link to my public URL. So this is the website that I want to convert into an app, and you're going to type React. Okay. Most websites coming out of Lovable are React, and if you don't know, you can go to code. Okay. You can find any of your source files. If it says .tsx for most of the file names, that means TypeScript. That doesn't always mean it's React, but if you see a word that says React right here, you're in the clear. What you can do is just copy any one of these files in full and paste it into ChatGPT and ask ChatGPT if it's React, Vue, or simply just ask it, what web development framework is this code using? Okay. Once you know what platform it's using, I know it's React. I'm going to tap on React and hit Create My App. All right. This tutorial is also assuming that you already have an App Store Connect account. Okay. You need to have an App Store Connect account for any of this to work. You can pay the $99 a year and get access to one. You should sign up as an individual at first, then you can always move it to an LLC later. But when you are scaling and making money, I do recommend using an LLC. So here we go. Now it's taking me through an onboarding flow where it will pretty much guide me through the entire process. I get to select my icon color here, or I can upload an icon. I can hit next. And pretty much what I did just to make sure all this worked is I just went through all of this pretty quickly. You can set your background color to black. I would choose a background color that matches the overall theme because this is going to be the color of the screen when somebody initially loads your app. Launch screen. You can add a launch screen here. I would just do a nice plain screen with a picture of your logo. Hit skip. You can hit next here. This is an error screen. And your overall app style, you can spend as much time as you want making this the way that you would like. I'm just going to go through it right now. Beautiful. Enable bottom bar. Right now, I'm going to leave this alone, but essentially, the bottom bar are the tabs at the bottom of the app. What you can do is implement the tabs inside of Lovable. You can say, hey, Lovable, if in mobile view, show some tabs at the bottom, show bottom tab navigation. You don't have to use the native ones that natively is giving to you here. It's totally up to you. Now you can use natively, they have a preview system or a preview app that you can download from the App Store and test your app. You don't have to do that. You can go ahead and hit next. The real meat of this tutorial today is the iOS build configuration. I already have a plan, so I'm not sure why it's making me do it again. Let me refresh the page and see where we're at. Pretty sure that I signed up for a plan. It says draft. All right. And now we can go to publish. I think I only get one app. Is that the thing? I think I only get one app. Let me see what happened here. I could have swore that I was on a 14-day trial. Ding, ding, ding. So I just signed up for a trial to give you a tutorial here. The trial is 14 days free, and you could launch your own app within 14 days. So technically this could be free. Now we need to get our API keys from App Store Connect to actually connect the App Store to natively. This is all you need to do to get your app running here. You're going to follow the steps on the right-hand side to get your issuer ID and key ID. I'm not going to expose these myself. If you follow this documentation, you will figure it out. I don't want to expose anything related to my App Store account, but essentially you're going to go into your App Store, hit users and access, and you'll follow these steps right here. It's very, very easy to get your issuer ID, key ID, and App Store API key. All right. Once you have that set up, that's going to establish your connection to the App Store. Once your connection is established to the App Store, it's very simple. You're just going to hit publish. You're going to hit iOS build right here, and then just tap on rebuild app. This is going to ask you for an app version. We can bump this version up to version 1.1.0. You can use any semantic versioning technique that you'd like. You can do 1.0.1 and hit rebuild app. That is going to compile your app, and it will send it to the App Store Connect. Once you see the alert in App Store Connect, oops, went to the wrong one, you can just open up your app in App Store Connect, tap on test flight, and that app is available right here. And you can then go to internal testing on the left-hand side and add yourself as an internal tester. That will send a link to your mobile phone via email that you can click on and open in test flight. Now that your app is here in test flight, we can actually get it set up for distribution. To set up an app for distribution, we need to fill out all of this information. The first thing I'm going to work on is my App Store screenshots. This is actually simpler than one might think. We can use this tool called screenshots.pro and quickly design 3 screenshots. So I'm going to design a screenshot that says register for the AKF walk and run. And by the way, if any of y'all are in Atlanta and you'd like to join, you absolutely can join the AKF walk and run. We can say not compete, but walk for a cause. And change the world. I'll probably be working with the marketing team to actually finalize the text here. All right. I'm just going to do 3 because 3 is all you need. Now what I'm going to do is go to the app. I'm going to take a screenshot on my phone of some screens here. I'm going to create an account. The account that I'm going to create on my phone right now is going to be a test account that I'm going to provide Apple, because Apple is going to need a test account to log in with to test the functionality of the app. Okay. So I'm going to create a test account. I'm going to onboard into the app. Okay. Beautiful. And then I'm going to take a screenshot of a couple more pages. Boom, sounds good. Now I'm going to take these screenshots on my phone and airdrop them to my computer. So I just picked 3 random screenshots. And right now I'm not really going for perfection. I'm going for function. I'm going to make sure this works and just get my first submission up. Okay. I know if I satisfy the requirements, I will get them to go through. So the first screenshot I have is a screenshot of the home page here. I am replacing this screenshot. There we go. Now I'm going to replace this screenshot with the races. And I'm actually going to grab a different screenshot because I don't really like the one that I got. I'm going to grab a screenshot of the home page, airdrop this to my computer. Awesome. Very good. Now I'm going to download these. We're going to say download all pages. All right. This should give me a screenshots.pro. Boom. I got 5 screenshots there. Head back to App Store Connect, hit choose file. We're going to grab the 3 screenshots here, 2, 3, and 4. Hit open. Beautiful. And it looks like this is using the 6.9 display. That's fantastic. And here I'm going to ask ChatGPT to write me a, I'll bring this over to you all so you can all see it. Write me an App Store description for the official AKF Walk 2025 app. Register for the AKF Walk. Sign up for races. Get notified about event details. And so I'm just looking for a very basic description here. This app will be primarily distributed internally to the network that we have access to. All right. And you can't actually have all of these like bullet points, or well, yes you can, but I don't want to run the risk of getting denied. So I'm just going to fix how all of this is formatted. I'm just going to use dashes, okay, and spaces. We want to limit the amount of possible faults that we can make here. And so formatting is one of those things. And we don't have to include some of this other stuff. And since this feature doesn't exist, spread the word via social email. I don't want to include that. And we don't want to include anything about fundraising features, okay? Beautiful. And I believe it's November 12th. All right, so we're going to keep that simple. And keywords, we're going to say AKF Walk, Atlanta, register for AKF Walk, charity 5K event. All right, beautiful. We're going to need a support URL. A support URL is where we will redirect users who are in need of support. So for this one, I'm just going to use the Ambitious Lab /support URL. We don't have that here, so we can do /contact us, I believe. No, that one doesn't exist either. So here's what we can do. What we can do is we can actually go to Lovable and tell Lovable to generate us a support page. Can you generate a support page that exists at path/support and have a simple line of text that says, for any questions, concerns, contact Aleem at ambitiouslabs.io. Okay. We'll get our web app to host a support page so that we can satisfy the App Store requirements here. Okay, so that's going to go into our support URL. Copyright, we can just run it Ambitious Technologies Inc. for copyright. And it says it created a simple page at support. Oh, it's still creating. So let's let it do that. We're going to drop this down, go to support. For any questions, concerns, contact. I think this should suffice. Okay, so let's publish. And then we will grab support. We will have akf at atl.com running. So it'll be akfatl.org /support. That will be running. Okay. By the time I submit this to the App Store, this will be running. We'll get the DNS record set up. We're going to add that build from earlier. So this will actually link the release. Okay. And then I have aleemtest@gmail.com. And then the password was aleem123. So that will give the Apple reviewer access. I'm going to pause this so I can type. Okay. I got some of my personal information down there so that they have instructions on how to review. If I try to add for review now, it's going to error. There's definitely some stuff wrong here. We're going to have to update some app information, but I like to trigger this prematurely so that I can get the errors. So we need to do these things here. We need to select the level of frequency for Apple content distribution in the rating section. So we're going to need to do all of that stuff in the app information. So we're going to say official app for AKF ATL 2025. All right, we need to select the category. We're going to say sports, and we will say travel. I think that will be fine. Content rights, there's no third-party content. Okay. Age ratings. Select whether your app has certain in-app controls, which can be used to limit the content in your app. We have no parental controls, no age assurance, no unrestricted web access, no user-generated content, no messaging and chat, no ads, no profanity, no horror, no alcohol or tobacco, no medical or treatment information, no health and wellness topics, no mature, no sexual content, no graphic content, no cartoon, no violence, no violence, no violence, no gambling, no contests, no gambling, no loot boxes. All right. Not applicable. We don't need this. We'll hit save. That's just for age rating satisfaction. All right. We don't need to provide any app encryption documentation or server notifications. Okay. Now I'm going to hit save here. We're going to go back, add for review again, and see what other errors we can trigger. You must enter a privacy policy URL in app privacy. So let's go back to Lovable and say, create another page at /privacy policy and fill in a sample privacy policy. Make the policy not vague, but make the policy let's just run it like that. Okay. We're just trying to satisfy requirements. I have a full privacy policy template inside the Dreams into Apps Accelerator. So while we're waiting on that, if you do want to work with me one-on-one to build, launch, and scale your app business, would love to do sessions like these one-on-one together. We do like literally every single day. We have 3 to 5 sessions with me and my coaches and my team where you can jump on calls like this and we can work together. You can ask questions and we can work on your app. It's truly an interactive experience. We have a full calendar that's action-packed. And if you want to work with us one-on-one, not only will we teach you how to build your app, we'll actually help you turn it into a startup and generate revenue. So What you're seeing here today is a very technical focused tutorial where I'm taking you end to end, but you might be wanting to make money from your app. You might want to launch a SaaS. You might want to scale a mobile app. That requires a different skill set than just being technical. I'm confident that me and my technical team can teach you how to get from A to Z in terms of building the app. But if you want to optimize it, scale it, and turn it into a business, check out the link in the description to learn more about that program called Dreams into Apps. So we have privacy policy here now. Cool. Very basic, but it works. We'll do the same thing over here where we say go to privacy policy. All right. We'll hit edit. I'm going to say akfwalk.org/privacy policy. And by the time that Apple sees this, I'm going to have the privacy policy and terms of service hooked up. We'll hit save. Fantastic. We'll hit get started here to actually set some of the data privacy compliance. Do you or your third-party partners collect data from this app? Yes, we collect data. It's important that we tell them we're using name, email, no phone number, and we're not going to use any health or fitness. We're not going to collect any financial info yet. We may do payment processing later, but for now, I'm going to keep this out. No location, no sensitive info, no contacts, no user content. We will have user ID, okay? And you might have user ID as well, but that's pretty much it, all right? Now for each one of those items that we declared that we were collecting data on, we need to tell them why. Primarily, the two reasons are app functionality and product personalization. And we want to tell Apple that we are linking the data to their personal identity. And then we do not have third-party partners for tracking purposes. This is if you're running ads or you are running pixels or anything where your ads are being tracked to users. You want to turn that on. Yes, email addresses are linked. No, we don't use for tracking purposes because we are not running ads. User ID is for product personalization and app functionality. Yes, user IDs are linked to the user's identity. And no, we do not collect them for tracking purposes. Just primarily internal use. We're not running ads. We will not be coordinating any third-party cookies. It's simply just collecting data for the app to work. Okay, now we're going to hit publish on this. Fantastic. Let's see how much more we got left to do. We'll hit add for review. We don't need to submit the newer build. I'll go ahead and submit that. It did not work because we need to set the pricing. Now we'll add pricing here, and our price is going to be $0 because this is a free app. All right, we're going to set it free in all the other countries as well. All right. Set up availability. Specific countries or regions. We're only going to launch this in the US and Canada, so I'll make sure that that is set correctly. Boom, boom, boom. Not available anywhere else. I like it. All right. Looks like we're doing good. Let's try to add it for review again and see if we trigger an error. Looks like it's ready to go through. I'm going to hit submit to app review, see if it takes it. And it took it. All right. So the only reason I see this going poorly is if it doesn't like the promotional content here, and if there's any requirements for a charity-based or walk-based app that I don't already know about, that's when it will trigger an issue. It will trigger an issue if I say anything that was inappropriate here in the description. And it will trigger an issue if any of these URLs don't work. I'm also not sure if it's going to like the app icon or not because the app icon is just a piece of text. So after this video, I'm going to get with the marketing team at this charity and I'm going to ask them to provide me these assets and maybe I'll submit another version. But if I'm you, I'm walking through each one of these steps and I'm getting my app submitted after following each one of those steps, and I will work through the App Store rejection errors. At this point, you should know exactly what to do, and that's how you turn any Lovable app into a fully launchable iOS app that anybody in the world can download on the iOS App Store. Hope you enjoyed this tutorial. I'll see you in the next one.